What's up, guys? Welcome to the live stream, our first official opening bell live stream. We're still getting set up here, so please be patient as it's a new operation. But I want to start doing these live streams where I just talk about markets, see what's going up or down, and we just hopefully hang out and you guys can help me make more money because that's what we want to do. Okay. Let's actually get Mr. Beast off the screen. Hey, what's up, Mr. Beast? And open up CNBC. So we got CNBC. Let's see if anyone's live. That's what we want to do. I'm the only one. Okay. Well, we'll still get something, because we can't have this dead air.
Let's talk about 44.50.
Generally, I'm just going to hang out and, yeah, we're just going to be hanging out. What is this? ISO +2. Let's fix the ISO. To go to auto, because I don't know the right settings. All right, it's looking pretty good.
50. Mike.
And then we'll restart this guy. Go like this. And like that, and like that, and then like this. And now we're tracking. Cool. Very cool. Just a little bit more. Like that. I like it. I like it. Definitely gonna break this mic. So let's see. CNBC. Or no, YouTube TV, I think is what we want. I want to see if we can broadcast this. But I'm pretty sure I won't be able to share this. What? I can't watch CNBC outside my home area? That's ridiculous. Live. Let's go live. CBC. Give it to me. I mean, I'm definitely going to cancel the YouTube subscription that I'm not paying for if I can't get CNBC. Kind of the whole point. Kind of the whole point. That's crazy. I can't get CNBC. Well, let's at least see what markets are doing, because it is a little bit my job. You guys are redonkulous. You're redonkulous. Oh, it's sold. Fuck. Damn it. I guess it's good. It's sold. How much did it sell for? $14.20. Couldn't help myself. Well, hey, I took money off the table. Isn't everyone happy for me? Fuck. This is the kind of stuff we're gonna do in the live stream. Okay, hanging with Mr. Beast. He's looking fucking trim. Good work, homie. Let's get some of my favorite creators. Maybe they're streaming. Meet Kevin Brathenoff. He doesn't have any. Let's see the Tesla shop.
Well, Elon Musk is back at it again with...
Wow, my sound quality is leaving some to be desired. Multi-output, input, black hole, 2-channel output, solo scarlet. I am on the internet, right? Because I'm using energy as if I was broadcasting live, so I should be broadcasting live. Your channel. Cool. Damn, this is looking freaking crispy. Okay, let's do a couple changes though. I lost my retainer in the move, and as any 12-year-old to 18-year-old or a 40-year-old like me would understand, kind of changes the way that your tongue connects to your teeth, so you enunciate a little bit with a lisp. So that's what's going on. I'm buying. Just call me Sid. Okay, let's be serious. We're doing serious work. We're serious people. I mean, you guys are. I'm just here to fuck around. Boop. Cool. Okay. That's where we want to be. Live streaming. So now we can listen
with reverse psychology as we get Tesla delivery numbers on
to what's going on with Tesla. As we all know, whenever Tesla reports, they get a pop and then they get a drop. So right now we get the pop.
Friday, Omar from the Whole Mars catalog on Twitter posted, "I plan to increase my stake in Tesla in the coming weeks and months." To which Elon Musk responded and said, "Please advise people to be wary of margin loans. Tesla has always been a has high variability, or has been a high variability stock, my goodness, often with no obvious rhyme or reason. We are confident about long-term value creation, but cannot control the manic depressive nature of the stock market." This initially was seen as bearish, but was it though? When I first read the comment, I thought to myself, if that was bearish, think about this, and then we're going to get into the delivery numbers and some of the catalysts for earnings, okay? But if Elon Musk, with after hours for trading of the stock still open on Friday when he tweeted this, if it was indeed a bearish comment, then that would almost be seen as insider trading if deliveries came in bad, right? Because you make a bear comment, and then 2 days go by, and then stock tanks, let's say, if deliveries came in poorly, then that could be potentially seen as insider trading. But if you make a bearish comment, and then 2 days later, really good news comes out, what you've actually done is played a little game of reverse psychology. Hey, look, I told people not to buy the stock, okay? I would never pump a stock. I told people not to buy it, as a matter of fact. It's kind of a potential Elon Musk line, right? I actually replied to that tweet and said, signed, the SEC appointed handler for Elon Musk, because as we know, after the 420 saga, Elon Musk is supposed to have somebody who monitors every single one of his tweets. And I thought that is the perfect thing to do right before good news. Leave a bearish comment so you could reverse psychology the SEC. See, man, look, I'm cautioning folks. The stock just goes up. I'm not pumping it. It's just the stock doing its insanity. There's no rhyme or reason for this. Kind of brilliant. So, what just happened? Yes. Well, it is course lecture filming completion day, so we're posting some lectures tonight, which is really exciting. New lectures coming up. Okay, but what we actually got were deliveries. We got some pretty incredible numbers here. So the market was expecting 400 and about 45,000 vehicles to be sold by Tesla. This is approximate. Some estimates were around 448, some were a little lower, but nobody was really higher than about 455. And what we got was actually something I felt like maybe I should have talked about a little bit more, but it's not attempted to be a pitch here, but I do have a Tesla affiliate link.
This is my first time trying to do trading and freaking live streaming, and I need to focus for a second. So if you guys want to hang out, you can. If not, bye-bye. Scheisse. All right, let's put Rivian back in this place. Right where it belongs. Boom, buy, 2, yes. We got to put these stocks back in their place. And they're like, oh, we're going to put you in your place. How about that? Damn, I sold as well? Ugh, whoopsie daisy. All right. Well, we're taking some profits, I guess. Now let's see if I can keep from just throwing them right back on the table, as I have done in the past. So I'm thinking the 2 expiry times I'm using are super short term because I just do not understand what's going on in this market. And we've got to liberate some buying power. Cancel. How's Disney doing? I don't know, like Disney, whatever, people like shit on their business. It seems like they're trading pretty cheap, if you ask me. I don't really do fundamental analysis. That's not my role. I'm more of like a YOLO intendies kind of guy. What? Oh, I might have to take profits. Shit. All right, so we're gonna slice him. You know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna stack these fucking puts for now. Okay, so let's go back. They don't want me to sell calls because I've in the money covered calls. You don't think I know that? Go through. Go, go, go. Fucking go. Come on, what's the deal? I think it's because I did sell a bunch of calls in the money, and Rivian's definitely going to be in that list. Let's see. Oh yeah, these. Damn. Well, can I do something about that is the question. What am I at? 1770. I mean, Rivian is just on a tear. It's crazy. So I don't think there's anything I can do about that. Whoopsie daisy, missed that. Who else is moving today? How is UVix not fucking moving? Oh shit, I had a bunch of orders execute. Okay, let's see what I executed. Oh no! Oh my god. Okay. I got 1 share of BlackRock. Got my single share. And wouldn't you know it, I'm already up 1%. Let's sell it. BlackRock is kind of a funny idea. So we can start building out our position here. 680 eventually. So that's kind of fun. But let's go. Well, anyway. 696. We got to sell it just because of pop, right? You can't like not take profits on a first day pop. How are you gonna do that? I really wish we could have some kind of well, if you guys aren't gonna let me watch CNBC, that's literally the only reason I'm interested in YouTube TV. Update home area. Next. Well, you already know I'm in Salt Lake City, so what does it matter? NASA's live. NASA's always live. So BlackRock, GBTC. What's crazy about Bitcoin is I'm pretty sure a bunch of it got burned. Kind of funny. How much should I make? No, we'll just let that ride. Just let this ride. Whoa, nice, okay, let's sell. I mean, this is a lucky day, probably from low volumes. We have a short trading week, as everyone knows, and we're probably just seeing a lucky trading day. But I do like to sell these in the money. Okay. Fine. Let's say transfer, brokerage, transfer, brokerage. There's your fucking capital. Sorry guys, I do that when I'm angry. You're not letting me do my thing, and time is running out. Nice. Let's just see how Coinbase is doing. You're ridiculous. You and your shit. You're ridiculous. I mean, just we gotta sell a couple calls here because you're going a little too crazy, a little too fast. We gotta take down Coinbase. Too far, too fast, guys. Maybe I shouldn't have talked so much about it. these puts. We got those calls. Put that back. Tesla's. What's Tesla up to? Oh my God, thank the fucking maker. Thank the fucking maker. Blessings. Blessings. Hosanna. Dude, these are some blessings. Thank you. Thank you for the blessings. All right, who's up? Who's out? Who's doing it? I don't even know what screen you guys are looking at. YouTube Live, nice. Live, NBC News.
Harris, but I think Alcaraz has learned a lot from that match.
Boring. Am I the only one that kind of wants to see what Kevin Hart's network is?
I am what they teach young girls to be when they grow up.
Never mind. Cancel it. Day trading live, that could be fun. We don't need to stream a streamer. All right, Bloomberg it is.
Automakers, because we now have the S&P 500 auto index up. Take a look at that, up 16.2% over the last 5 days. Its longest winning streak since June, but not surprisingly, its best winning streak since early January. Again, having everything to do with those Tesla numbers.
And very briefly, of course, going back to Michael Purvis, Abigail, you said you like banks, the yield curve, the inversion. Any other sectors you want to call out for us?
Well, look, I think there are selected materials here. I think, materials have been very soggy. The failure for China to really launch here the way certainly I expected earlier this year there. But I still think that there is ultimately a different supply story going across so many of the materials names here. And I think when you think about the relocalization of what's happening, you're seeing this explosion in factory builds in the Southeast right now, in the Southwest and other parts of the country. So that means that a lot of people that are making the inputs for that, whether it's steel, whether it's cement, and so forth, those names can be bought pretty cheaply there. And then away from that, I think, again, like Bank of America is trading at 8.5 times earnings. It's not a very exciting story there, but it's, the S&P 500 is 19.5 times earnings, and certainly skewed by NVIDIA and the other big tech names. But still, I think, buying a company it doesn't have an amazing earnings story, but it has a decent earnings story here into a higher rate environment where net interest income is going to be pretty good, I think is probably a pretty decent play here. It's not going to make you super rich, but it'll be solid, yep.
Michael Purvis, happy 4th of July. Go celebrate. Thank you. Coming up, the market moving events you need to be watching. That's next in our trading diary. This is Bloomberg.
This is kind of pleasant. Let's see how it's looking for
Most of the large Chinese technology companies, let's say Alibaba, Baidu, Tencent, they have gigantic market values and they're very prominent in China, not not as prominent outside of China as obviously in China, and certainly not that prominent in the United States. TikTok, by contrast, is not in China, but it's gigantic outside of China, of the United States and everywhere. What did TikTok do that enabled a Chinese-based company, parent company at least, to do so well outside of China?
We think it's challenging to build a global company in general, but the best ones we have seen so far are ones that take very consistent global learnings and adapt them to the local countries that they are operating in. So you need to be global and local at the same time.
Time now for the trading diary. What you need to be watching this week. Of course, US stock markets, they're closing early, 1 p.m. Eastern today. Bond markets, that's 2 p.m. US markets are also closed for the 4th of July holiday tomorrow. Then we get the fireworks of the Fed minutes on Wednesday. Secretary Yellen heading to Beijing come Thursday. And Friday, you know it, we'll round out this week with the all-important US payrolls report. Just a phenomenal week to be getting your teeth into when it comes to fundamentals, but go have a really enjoyable shortened day and exciting July 4th celebration. This was Countdown to the Open, and this is Bloomberg.
Rivian is on such a tear, it's crazy. And I missed it because I stayed too short. Damn. But maybe I'll catch it on the way back.
I don't think we can replicate Tesla. Tesla is a unique because when they found it, and then the personality behind it, the product is beautiful, technologically very, very strong. So in many areas, Tesla is Tesla, but Xpeng is Xpeng. We want to focus on what we think is important for our customers. Our customer like beautifully designed vehicles, either it's large SUV or sports sedan. We believe we have a very, very appealing family look that our customers is really attracted to. They like to have user-friendly features inside the cabin that has a technology feel. It's very smart. It enables them to really utilize the vehicle that's different.
Lots happening on Wall Street.
There are so many factors at play today.
It remains tight in certain parts of the economy.
Need to catch up?
This is Bloomberg Wall Street Week. I'm David Weston.
We've got the information and insight.
Crisis is too strong a word, and words like that get used a lot.
From businesses most influential and instrumental.
America's economy needs a diversity of institutions.
That's something that Wall Street pays a lot of attention to.
Bloomberg Wall Street Week, live tonight with replays all weekend on Bloomberg Television and Radio.
DOJ or other authorities
could face bigger challenges.
Britain's next.
Fed was going to keep rate World Cup. This is a 3.
As the economic picture down.
The BOK is getting ready to make a decision.
All right, we got lots of puts on Tesla. So when is their earnings? That's coming We choose patience.
This is Bloomberg Markets with Paul Sweeney.
We got a lot of green on the screen here, but the volume is light. This is a market that's much more optimistic or bullish than maybe its central bankers are. 9.5 million job openings. What are people doing? Are they just sitting in Starbucks all day?
Breaking market news and insight from Bloomberg experts.
There's still some concern out there in the market that there is room for things to deteriorate a little bit more than what they're indicating.
As small and medium-sized businesses struggle, they don't present as much competition.
What are you guys thinking about hardware, software? How should investors approach this thing called AI?
This is Bloomberg Markets with Paul Sweeney on Bloomberg Radio.
This is Jess Minton and Madison Mills. We're filling in for Paul Sweeney, who's on vacation conveniently for the 4th of July holiday. But we're going to be with y'all for the next 4 hours, which is going to be a lot of fun. Coming up in the next hour, we will have Dana Patterson, the chief economist of the Conference Board. We're also going to have a commercial real estate roundup with Todd Henderson, who's the co-head of global real estate for DWS. And we'll have more coming up. But first, let's get a Bloomberg business flash with Charlie Pellet of Bloomberg News.
Very much, and here's what's going on. We've got stocks trading mix. Look at this first trading day of the second half ahead of a holiday tomorrow. Right now we have got the Dow lower, down 42 points. That is a drop of just about 0.1%. The S&P eking out a gain right now, has been fluctuating. It is up by a point. Right now the S&P 44.51. The NASDAQ Composite Index higher by 43. That is a gain of 0.3%. NASDAQ 100 Index also advancing right now, up by just about 0.3%. 10-year yield 3.78% with the 2-year at 4.84%. Spot gold right now advancing $10 the ounce to $19.30 for gold. That is a gain of just about 0.6%. While West Texas Intermediate crude down 0.7%, $70.13 a barrel on WTI. So right now we are trading mixed as we kick off the third quarter. As for the market backdrop, Anna Hahn is equity strategist at Wells Fargo Securities.
With the acceleration in the market, I think what's important is what's really dragging up the market and how much more can that go. The technicals on the Uber cap-led rally here look to be losing steam at overbought levels. But you've seen that really the correlation within these 500 names of the S&P 500 have declined because of that separation of these handful of names versus the rest of the market.
A lot of focus today on EV stocks, electric vehicles. Tesla, case in point, rallying 7.7%. Tesla, Rivian Automotive, and BYD all set sales records in the second quarter, likely widening their lead as the world's top electric car makers. Rivian up now by 13.4%, and Lucid, it is up now by 5.9%. Again, recapping, we're looking at a mixed Monday here. S&P higher by 1 point, little change. The Dow down 53, down 0.1%. NASDAQ higher by 0.3%. I'm Charlie Pellet. That is a Bloomberg Business Flash.
Thank you, Charlie. We appreciate it. Jess Minton, Madison Mills in the Bloomberg Interactive Brokers Studio. How fun is this?
Hey,
over
Jess.
the next 4 hours?
This is the time
while
of my
everyone's
life.
away. And also, the stock market going to close at 1 p.m. Bond markets close at 2 p.m. And even though it seems like it's lighter on the economic calendar today, we just did get a flash about the U.S. manufacturing activity shrinking by the most in 3 years. So this is the Institute of Supply Management's manufacturing gauge, falling to about 46, the weakest since May of 2020. But Maddie, we do have that jobs report at the end of this week. So even though we'll have a holiday tomorrow, I know that other investors are looking ahead to that monthly jobs report.
Feels like a big jobs week. We've got ADP, JOLTS, jobs on
Right.
non-farm payrolls Friday. It's a lot of job stuff this week.
We know Fed Chair Jerome Powell is going to be keeping a close eye on the jobs report. Obviously, too, for inflation gauges when it comes to average hourly earnings. But to get a bit of a look under the hood here, who better to bring in than Emily Grafeo, our reporter on the Cross Asset team. What are you watching?
Well, I'm watching the EV space, like Charlie was saying at the top of the hour, because these are some pretty big moves, particularly for a holiday shortened week. We have Tesla up over 7%. So they posted record sales in the second quarter, delivering 466,000 cars worldwide. They don't highlight in these quarterly reports exactly where in the world these deliveries are coming from, but that's a record number, beating estimates of 448,000. It was also up 83% from a year ago. So investors are cheering this news on Tesla. Bloomberg had interviewed one Baird analyst who said everyone was worried about inventory build, and it looks like that's normalized. And he also said the delta between production and deliveries is shrinking, which is what Tesla said they would do. And this is also following that push from the company to cut prices in order to pick up volume in the delivery space.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see that playing out and working in their favor. I'm curious about the moves with Rivian today as well, up even more than Tesla. What's going on there?
Right. When I first saw the Rivian news, I thought it was just Rivian moving up higher because technically, like when Tesla moves up,
exactly.
Usually you see the other EV stocks. But Rivian also beat expectations when it came to their vehicle output, producing more vehicles and delivering more vehicles to customers than expected. They have 2 passenger vehicles, and then they have 1 commercial van, all electric, and Amazon uses that commercial van that Rivian produces. They also said that for the full year, they're on track to produce 50,000 electric vehicles. Last year, they didn't even produce 25,000. So that would be a doubling if they actually meet that goal. And we're seeing that stock up a ton right now, 14% up to the highest level since February. It has been kind of trading pretty low all year, just chugging along after plunging in January, but now we're spiking back up.
What about when it comes to some of these aviation stocks?
So we're very transportation focused this morning. I was also looking at Joby Aviation. I think I'm pronouncing that right. This is a $7 billion company. Went public via a SPAC in 2020, and they make flying taxis. I'm not exactly sure how that's different than
Don't give me another transportation story. I can't do another weird deathly vehicle.
It's they're calling it a flying taxi. It looks like a drone. I was looking at its website.
Please help me.
A flying drone. But this company also had its best week on record last week, soaring over 60%. Moving higher today also, and it's all because they had a go-ahead from the FAA that signaled the company may be on schedule to launch the first commercial taxis in 2020.
It's going to be a cool company.
I'm getting a little silly.
It's going to be a cool one.
It's July 3rd.
Oh my God! Yeah, why are we all here if not to get a little silly on Monday?
We're the only ones left.
It's literally just us, so we might as well have fun.
And the flying taxis.
Yes. And also, I thought it's interesting that this Joby company, so it's backed by Uber, Toyota, Delta, Intel.
Yeah, and they also, so they have those partnerships. They're also, they have an agreement with the U.S. Department of Defense, and they expect to deliver their first aircraft to the Air Force in 2024.
Wow.
I had not heard of this company before this morning. And like I said, $7 billion in market cap, so it's not that large, and it hasn't been public for that long, but certainly seems to be making waves in the flying taxi space. I cover ARC and Kathy Wood a lot, and she's very bullish on a lot of technologies. She talks about flying taxis a lot, so my ears perked up when I heard this news.
Any sort of final thoughts before we hear from you again in an hour?
Well, speaking of ARC, I am looking at that ETF moving up. It's 2.3% higher today, outperforming that NASDAQ 100, which is what we see a lot.
About JEPI calls? What the
an
fuck did I buy
ultra-levered
JEPI
bet
calls?
on technology stocks. When the NASDAQ is higher, usually ARC tends
I think
to
I do
outperform.
actually know why I
We're
did
certainly
that.
seeing that today. Some moves in crypto too. That speculative technology, those animal spirits, as we're here the day before July 4th, seem to be taking the market for a ride right now.
All right, Emily Grafeo, cross-asset reporter at Bloomberg News. We're excited to hear from her again over the next top of the hour for the next 3 hours. Thank you so much. Up next, I want to get straight to our next guest, Dana Peterson, chief economist at the Conference Board, who's going to join us on Zoom. And Dana, I have to get your thoughts because we are just coming off of the data that we got last week when it came to consumer confidence and rising to the highest level since early 2022. How do you square that away when a lot of the data say GDP was revised higher for the second quarter, coming in stronger than expected, but then it seems like a lot of people, even if you exclude some of the sentiment gauges, still feel a bit gloomy, especially when it comes to what is ahead for the economy?
Sure. Looking at the consumer confidence measure that the Conference Board produces, yes, it did rise to the highest level we've seen in some time, but if you look at the series on a graph, it's been moving pretty much in the same range, and it's a range that's below the peak that we saw last year and also well below the the pre-pandemic 2019 levels. When you look at the details, consumers are saying, well, things are okay right now. I'm working. I have income. Business conditions seem to be okay. Looking to the future, they still expect that maybe there's something negative around the corner. Maybe there's a recession or a soft spot.
So talk to us then about this U.S. manufacturing activity. We just got this ISM data this morning. That's the Institute for Supply Management's manufacturing gauge. 8th month of contraction here, Dana. How happy is Jay Powell after seeing those numbers, or do you not necessarily look at that as a huge indicator of the macro picture here?
Well, factory activity is one important measure, and certainly something that we look at and include in our leading index. And the reason why factory activity is so weak is because consumers are no longer buying goods en masse. That was certainly the conditions during the pandemic, where they couldn't go out and enjoy services. Now they can enjoy services, so that's why we're seeing services, purchasing managers, indicators rising, and a lot of spending on services, which we saw in last week's
$30 billion.
report.
I know you also have the Conference Board's leading index, which has been negative for 14 consecutive months. And it's something rare to see over the past half century. Typically, when you've seen instances like that, it's only happened in 1974, 1980, and 2008, where you've seen that sort of extreme time threshold there. But then the U.S. economy was actually already in a recession. What do you think this is telling us about the economy?
Sure. What the leading index tells us is that there's probably a recession starting right about now, or which is the third quarter of the year. And certainly because it's been negative for so long, it does suggest that we will see a soft spot. We are actually forecasting a recession, but a short and shallow one. So the thing is that when you look at current conditions, they're still signaling that there's no recession, and that's because 2 out of the 4 indicators are linked to the labor market and incomes. And we know the labor market's still doing well, and incomes are rising on a real basis. So that's helping to support consumers. But businesses certainly are feeling the pinch, certainly manufacturers, because there's less demand. And also many businesses are also looking ahead and concerned that there's something negative around the corner, and they are definitely pulling back, at least on investments, if not on labor.
Dana, I'm really curious about how you rate the importance of cumulative savings when it comes to the inflationary picture here. Our Bloomberg economists crunched the numbers on this. They show that the lowest 40% of households in the U.S. have negative real excess cash balances. So just some evidence there that the concerns about tons of stimulus really beefing up these consumer balance sheets may not necessarily have the sticking power that we have been talking about it having. What is your take on the importance of cumulative?
Dead air.
Cumulative savings and where those stand right now.
Sorry, I'm working.
Well, during the pandemic, yes, you had those big injections of stimulus. For the lowest income families, they probably spent it all. And that's why they have negative savings right now, and they're using credit cards to get by. So that's what you're seeing there, and that kind of makes sense. The thing is that it's really tough for the Fed to get at spending on services and people not spending out of this excess savings, because it's not something that you finance, right? So even if you put something on a credit card, your credit card rate doesn't shift around with the Fed funds rate. So we think in aggregate, the excess savings that people have is pretty much going to run out by the fall. And again, that's aggregate, so that's including people who are across the income distribution. So I think, what's really still supporting savings is people who are probably in the middle of the income distribution, who did also receive stimulus checks, but are also working and seeing their incomes rise. So really the Fed needs to see weakening in the labor market, companies taking down those job ads so that consumers feel, okay, well, I don't have as many options, so maybe I'll just sit tight, or maybe I'll pull back on my spending, and that'll help bring down inflation.
How does oil play into this? Because right now, if we're looking at U.S. crude prices trading around $70 a barrel, and overnight we did get that news, obviously, with the Saudis as well as Russia extending those oil supply cuts. how much of a fuel do we would need to see, no pun intended, when it comes to oil prices moving higher to then maybe exacerbate what we've seen when it comes to the inflation dynamics like we saw, say, last summer, which obviously oil prices were trading much higher when it comes to that, and what it could mean for Americans in their pocketbooks?
Sure. Right now, and certainly in Friday's PCE inflation report, we saw that actually gasoline prices are falling year on year. And when you go to the pump, they're pretty low right now, prices for gasoline. And in fact, many people are expecting, lots of folks are going to get out in their cars this holiday week. So any increase, or rather any decreases in supply certainly will put upward pressure on prices. But that usually takes a few months, and certainly that would not be a positive in terms of the Fed working to bring down inflation, because certainly the Fed cannot control OPEC. So it's certainly a negative if we do see material increases in prices. But for the most part right now, gasoline prices definitely are cooling and providing some relief to consumers.
All right, Dana, in our final couple minutes with you, I want to do what every economist, I'm sure, just loves doing. Look into your crystal ball for me here for the rest of this week. What do you think is going to be the most important data point that we're going to get in terms of sussing out what the Fed's next moves are going to be? Is it going to be some of this labor market data, something else?
Absolutely, it's going to be the labor market data. We'll get ADP, and we'll also have the BLS payrolls report. We've seen that the labor market continues to be robust. I think that there are three forces going on here with respect to the labor market. You do have some companies that are letting folks go, but most companies are either hiring or just sitting tight and hoarding labor. And it's the case that those companies that are hiring plus the hoarders are outweighing the companies that are letting people go. So we're probably going to continue to see positive readings on payrolls and a low unemployment rate. But the key thing will be next week when we get the JOLTS data to see if vacancies are dialing down, which indicates that businesses are definitely feeling concerned about the future, and that workers should actually watch out and reduce their spending.
Dana, we only have about 30 seconds left. When it comes to the labor market, what jobs do you think are most vulnerable right now?
Well, certainly those jobs associated with the pandemic darling. So that's finance, technology, real estate, construction on residential, and also transportation and warehousing, simply because there's just less demand for goods.
Dana, thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure to get your perspective on the economy and obviously what the Conference Board is gauging when it comes to your economic indicators. That's Dana Peterson, Chief Economist at the
Good
Conference
game,
Board.
Bloomberg. Let's see what we can also find. I want to hang out with CNBC. How do I do it? YouTube, TV, CNBC. Let's see. Series live. That's crazy. This is why traditional TV sucks. It's a little bit why we don't want to be buying traditional TV. So what we need to see is our excess margin. Oops. Let's get some more stuff here for us. All right, we got 6.8K watching this one.
I don't know what is the
especially
big thing
these
for
traders.
Long weekend. Obviously, you have a couple of brews, but is it cracking some dogs and burgers? That's what I would think it is. That's what I like to barbecue on days.
It's
like
going to
that.
be dogs and burgers.
I'm trailing out a Tesla here, and I feel like, well, okay, it could still hold on. There it is. I just got triggered out now. 280 the first time. It made that top at 85. Given the time of day and the fact that it's a half day, when it bounced off 280 eventually, I'm looking at that local high for trail. So when it wicked above 282 and didn't immediately make a run at the half, that's my out. The same way we got out there. So a couple of longs off 280. That's all I like. That's the one level I wanted to play on Tesla today. So I'll be happy with it. With only 40 minutes to go until we kick you guys to, I guess it's like the close show. It's not even the midday. But we do still need to get to the desk for, shoot, is it small cap recap?
Small cap recap. Let's do it. Sounds nice. We got a small cap recap.
Neil, small cap recap brought to you by Huzi. Huzi is a top
You guys have
digital
ads?
insurance platform in
On
China.
partner?
Chosen by
For real?
insurance giants for its broad market access and expertise in customization, enabling them to reach a wider audience and offer specialized
go.
solutions. Shout out
Let
to the
me
folks
on your
there
show.
at
I
Guys, all right,
charge,
let's see what the
I don't
first
know,
one moving here. PLM,
$1,200 an
we'll talk about
hour.
this
I
one.
got to make
In the
up
morning,
for
29
lost
million share
income.
float. This is a buyout with a possible ceiling here at 211, 204 the high.
Do we sell?
This basically Glencore PLC looking
Or
to
is this
take
a
the
breakout?
remaining
I cannot tell.
part of Polymet that they don't already own, which is about $71 million. They currently own about 82.26%. Again, 211 the buyout price, but it is I believe it's not a firm deal. AHI, the other one moving up here, 668. This one was squeezing multiple halts to the upside. Neil asking me if there was anything on this. All I could find is a 3 a.m. showing here saying the CRS filings, the notification of cessation of securities for AHI. Those are really the only two in small cap world today, guys.
All right.
Well, I mean, CGC. I literally just typed CDC. CGC still going. It just got to 55 there. I'm probably not gonna, with only 40 minutes to go. Like the one place that I felt like the R&R and the trade was obvious to me, if I'm going against the grain of something, I want tight risk. I want an obvious level where people might be taking profit on a stock. Otherwise, I feel like you're whatting in the wind. So I'm gonna stay away from that one. Jimmy John's delivered poolside. Steve G
Pooping.
just said.
Peeing.
That'll work. That'll work. Anything
Jacking
by the
off.
pool. I hope the weather is nice for your 4th of July. We got rain yesterday, but Saturday was all right. I mean, Saturday was nice and hot for us on Canada Day.
No rain out
I had
here.
no issues with it, but yesterday
No
it was
rain out
kind of
here.
raining all day long. We were still outside, but couldn't really do what we wanted to. I feel like if I'm trailing out of Tesla there and it's going to continue to go to the upside, it's a different story with SoFi. If at 840, it got you to 860. Now you're starting to run a little bit out of steam, like I did with Lucid. Just throw offers back in front of that current high just to take more profit out of it. If there's fades here late, maybe that's there. I don't know. Like if you look at if you look at the big caps as a group, Microsoft is trending to the downside, down 0.5%. Like I suppose really if you were looking to fight shorts, you could be thinking about this, but that makes more sense at 340. Just looking for like new opportunities, and if you look at big cap, they're just weak right now. AHI going for no reason.
Right, we gotta fucking fix this Rivian because this
exactly
sucks.
the kind of thing that can happen.
This sucks balls.
When you talk about days like today with low volume, it kind of gives an extra push to some of the low float types of names, right? Like if there's less market participants in a low liquidity environment, when these start to go, they just get absolutely ham. But I wouldn't necessarily.
I think
chase
that
this one. I think if you're not long down here,
I gotta just let Rivian slide.
I wouldn't be taking this breakout through the high of the day on AHI. It's just a little bit too late in the day for that. It's just, I don't know, you have less time for it to go. I think you've either made the money on these or you're just managing your position if you're already in the money long. It seems like it would be a good double top here, but I would be staying away from that. Maybe there's like a little dip where you risk 20, 30 cents in there.
Alright, I'm just going to hold on to
cheeky
Rivian.
long if it dips in here, but I wouldn't take a top break at this time of the day on the holiday.
All right, we're using the same kind of logic right now to discuss this trade with Tesla because there it is right now. We just got a piece out. 250 in the money. Like what are we supposed to do there? Another trade coming through. We talked about it there. I mean, it's. I was just reading over the sticky note as well, and what we talked about with Tesla, right? And it was just we have the notes there. We put it here. I'm looking at it right now. We just need to get long and stay long. I mean, that's exactly what we wrote down. We did have some talk exactly why we wanted the long, but I think everybody knows that. So there it is right there. Tesla, get long and stay the hell long. So that's exactly what we're doing right now. But we're getting out too. I mean, we're trying to stay net long. But right there, look at these dip buys in that one. So if that's not
just
a reload, then maybe you'll like this reload. Back into the damn dollar club right now is look, I mean, Sharif, this is insane. This AMD again. Look at that trade. We just reloaded it for $1. Not only is it a dollar club right there, but we'll give some props. It's a reloaded dollar club right now. So it's actually a dual member. So it was first entered it right there at 115 up to 116.60, $1.60 club. And now it is right there back to the upside right now. You can.
All right. Well, I have to focus now, and I guess I wasn't even on the right screen anyway. And so that was my live stream. We got an hour in. I hope somebody saw it, and if not, they'll see it eventually because I'm going to do a lot of these. So happy live stream. Happy first live stream on July 3rd in 2023. Maybe I could wrap up with some market thoughts. Short term, just seems like we have to have a reversal because the price action has been so bullish. Obviously, long term, I'm not obvious to you, but obvious to anyone who's heard me before. I'm all in on the future and emerging technologies. So I'm a big fan of Kathy Wood and the ARK Invest team, and I share their view of the world, which is that technology is creating a tailwind of deflation through innovation. And I can talk a lot more about what that means to me, but basically it's going to be an AI empowered world. I've been thinking this way before ChatGPT came out. There's record of it going back years ago. An AI powered world where the economy is basically unlimited. And, you know, we basically, the reason I think we need UBI is because we won't have any other choice. I have a lot of stuff to talk about, so we'll get to it all in good time. Right now, the companies I'm saying nothing about price, valuation, or where they're at right now, but the companies I think are most important to the future are Tesla. I don't know, like, I guess you could just say big tech, but they're always in there. You can toss NVIDIA in there. It's Tesla, Coinbase. Okay, let me rephrase this. I'm not saying these are the most critical companies. Tesla might be the most important company in the world. If not Tesla, it's probably Apple. But these are companies that I think are like just ridiculously undervalued, that we're not going to see a 10x in the next 5 years. We're going to see like a 30x, or higher, maybe a 40x in Coinbase and Robinhood and Unity and names like that. So hopefully that gives you an idea of what I'm into, and hopefully I can make this fun, entertaining, informative, interesting, and all the good things that will keep people coming back, because I need, I want